You can start by just selling stuff you already own to get the wheels going a little bit and to learn. And then you can start finding these deals. Boring categories are very profitable. We have people doing 6 figures in sales just on Facebook Marketplace. You want to take time-lapse video and you want to show that in your listing. And that's what draws people in. It takes just as much effort to make $100 as it does to make $10. So focus on chasing $100 bills. If you're winning every auction, you're paying too much money. You need to be losing deals. We buy with math and then we sell with emotion. That's the way you think. People always ask me, isn't it going to be really competitive? No, because most people don't take action.
If you're watching on our YouTube channel, we're going to have Shannon screen share and walk us through some real life opportunities and show us exactly how to do this. So Shannon, where is the first place you go to find awesome opportunities? And let's let it roll from there.
Yeah, so I talk a lot about reselling and buying 2 different categories of products to become a reseller. And one is excess inventory. These huge manufacturers and retailers have tons of stuff left over that either doesn't sell or they projected wrong. And so massive opportunity to buy brand new products and flip that product. Where you sell it often depends on the type of product that you buy, but we have people doing 6 figures in sales just on Facebook Marketplace, moving things like pressure washers. It's wild.
Wow.
The other opportunity is customer returns. You know, e-commerce, the typical return rate for e-commerce stores is 20 to 30%, and it's growing. So there's just massive amount of inventory. I was at a massive return center just last Friday that I got invited to tour, and it was thousands of pallets of just product that was just coming back in the supply chain that has to be sold. They have to get rid of it because the trucks are just rolling in, and if you don't buy it, it's going to wind up, you're trying to keep stuff out of landfill. It's fantastic. So we're constantly looking at opportunities, and it's from every supplier and manufacturer you could imagine. If you know their name, they're selling products, and most of the time they're selling this stuff at auctions every single day, whether it's Costco, Target, Amazon, Walmart, Dick's Sporting Goods stores, and then there's hundreds, maybe thousands of smaller brands that you don't hear about, but you can buy incredible amounts of products at pennies on the dollar. And the product is almost secondary because there's so much of it available. The key is to build systems. And we talked about this on the last show we did, I think last year. How are you going to build systems that you can scale? Whether it's, okay, what's my credibility? How do I build that with my customers? And why should they trust me, right? And what my unfair advantage is. Is it, I've got a huge storage facility. I know everything about some category. I have a lot of money I can invest. It could be anything. It could just be your work ethic, the fact that you're willing to hustle and grind every night when people are going to bed. So applying that system to these products that are coming back, it can change your life, and it's super accessible. You can start by just selling stuff you already own to get the wheels going a little bit and to learn. And then you can start finding these deals. It doesn't take much money to buy, and I'll be glad to share some of this stuff with you. It'll blow your mind.
Yeah, I'm super excited because I love selling stuff especially on Facebook Marketplace, just through having 4 kids and tons of stuff and moving. And, over probably the last 6 or 7 years, I've probably sold about $12,000 worth of things on Marketplace.
That's awesome.
Including my wife's old car. I love writing my descriptions to get people to buy, right? As opposed to just, hey, you should buy this thing. It's, no, let's give an actual description with great pictures. So I kind of love the science behind it and the purchase, how to get people to make a purchase. But I'm really pumped about this because now you're going to show us how you can go make a business out of this. You can literally go buy things, like you said, from wholesale and still sell them on Marketplace if you're just doing this on the side.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to shut up. I want to let you get right into this. Let's jump into example number 1.
I'll share some different categories, and any category you can think of, there's opportunities out there. I guarantee it. Let me find, we'll share here, this one right here. Okay, let's see. Okay, this brand is called Walker Edison. They want to be the online version of IKEA, right? That's their whole market fit. They sell flat packed furniture, okay? Everything that you put together like at IKEA, this stuff is brand new. And there's a few auctions here. This auction site is You can share it in the show notes. There's a massive marketplace that these suppliers use called bstock.com. And we're going to share a bunch of this stuff as well as some other government auction stuff as we go along. And bstock is kind of like an eBay, but for massive companies, but you have to be a business buyer here. There's some requirements you have to have. You have to have a reseller's permit, and they do a little bit of vetting, but I help people get registered here all the time. We have a mastermind, my $5 mastermind, and it's, easy to get set up. So in this example, there's a few auctions that we're looking at here. The first one, 16 pallets, bunk beds, TV consoles, coffee tables, and more, all kinds of product, 294 units, right? This is brand new product, okay? They're selling it for the Walker Edison price on their website was $95,958, okay? The first thing you want to realize when you're looking at these suppliers is that the retail price is a lie, right? Because all these companies discount. Now, maybe Costco's not that bad. They're actually much better because they're already selling at a lower price. But so let's cut it in half. Let's just say, hey, this is $45,000 worth of stuff, right? And the 50% whack right off the top. Well, right now, this product, this whole 16 pallets, 294 units, is selling for $1,050. That's where the bid at. And it has one more day. And I guarantee you, because I watch these auctions all the time, this product going to sell for $4,000 or $5,000 for these 16 pallets, okay? Less than 10 cents, 10% of the store price. And your job is to research this product and say, okay, well, what does it sell for in my area? What can I sell these? Like, here's the other auction next to it. $82,000, 237 units, patio chairs, love seats, and more. And they have pictures, and you get a full manifest, and we're going to dive into manifest in a second. Your job is to look on Facebook Marketplace and around your area and see what this kind of product sells for. And you say, okay, we already cut the price in half on this first one. Let's say it's $45,000. If you're looking at it and say, wow, I think I could only sell it at even 50% off of that, almost $22,000. Well, would you invest $4,000 or $5,000 to sell it for $22,000? Of course you would. And this product sells, and the way you sell it is you take video, time-lapse video of you putting it together, because that is your hook. And people are scrolling on Facebook Marketplace, and they see this time-lapse sped up of you building a bunk bed, a love seat, the patio chairs, and they stop because they're like, what's that? I don't see any other videos up there. And they look at your thing, and you're saying, hey, this product is, the store price is $450, and I'm selling it for $189, right? So that's how you're able to do it with this kind of products. These deals are available every single day. It's not like Shannon has some secret thing and you got to pay me a bunch of money to go find. It doesn't work that way. It's just out there. You have to put the effort in, do the research. It's a simple business. It's not easy, but once you get it going, it is not difficult to scale, right? Not at all.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So like for this, 16 pallets of those patio chairs and love seats and more, is this where you would go into this and buy this to sell it on your own? Or are there opportunities to sell it like to a discount store?
Yep.
Or like just so it's basically you're just kind of like arbitrage? Like,
yeah,
I'm going to buy these for pennies on the dollar.
Yep.
I'm going to sell them. Let's say you paid $5,000 for those 237 units. And you've got a discount store who's going to pay you
exactly
less than retail, call it $20,000.
Yep.
So you turn that 5 into 20. And,
exactly.
And that way you don't have to store very long, 37 units or whatever that was. And then, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to dig into this a little more, but let me explain how a great way to do it is don't buy it. Sell it first. Do the research. If you don't know anything about this kind of product, go connect with people that do. Okay, so let's look into this a little deeper and take a look at this is one of the deals. There's 300 units, brand new. We're still on Walker Edison, 16 pallets. It's stools, nightstands, TV stands where you can set your flat panel TV, and there's about 50 of each. 70-inch barn door TV stands, 50 units, brand new. Counter stools, where they were selling at $155 a piece, $199 for the TV stands. So you have this complete manifest, okay? And you can get it before you place your bid. So you can print this out, and you can do this with any category. I love it for people that want to do things for industrial things or construction items like flooring or faucets from Kohler or you name it. You take that manifest and you use your network. Who do you know that could buy this type of product? Or who can you call that you can go and say, hey, look, I'm a liquidator. I have access to this product. Here's the manifest. I don't know much about this category. Clearly you do. You're in the furniture business. What's a price that you would pay for this product? Or number one, would you buy from me? And most people are going to say, no, I don't want to buy from you. But you just get on the phone and you make another phone call. You don't email. You pick up the phone and you connect with people that you want to talk to. You go walk in their store. You ask who's the buyer, who does these things in your local area. And you just ask them. You be super authentic and say, I'm just starting this business. I have this opportunity with this company. They want to sell me this product. What's the price that you would pay? Okay, yeah, this one we're looking at now says retail $36,000. Well, whoever you talk to is not going to pay anywhere near that. They're going to come back and say, wow, the most I could pay you for this is like $10,000 or $8,000. And you're going to go, great. If I could sell it to you for $8,000 or $10,000, would you buy from me? And someone's going to say yes. I guarantee it because I've done this my whole life. You're going to get that number, that 8 to 10,000. You come back and say, great, what am I going to bid? Well, right now, this auction has the high bid is $150. I'm not making this. This is real. You can go register here. You can see the URL. It's bstock.com/Walker Edison. You don't need to connect with me. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to join my newsletter. You don't have to do anything. Just go get up there. If you need help getting registered, I can help you. But it's not going to sell for $150. But it's probably going to sell for $2,000 to $3,000. It's because I see it over and over. So if it sells for $2,000 or $3,000, you're going to pay some shipping on top of that. Like this stuff's in. This is 16 pallets. Shipping to me is like $1,400. So you're going to add that into your cost. So okay, my max bid's going to be $3,000 because I can't pay more than $4,500. So you add the shipping. Your bid's about $4,400. You win this bid, you go back to them and say, hey, you said you'd pay 8 to 10. I can sell it to you for 8. You just made $3,000, $3,600. And this is repeatable. This is not selling it on Facebook Marketplace. You should do that as well. You should do both as you're putting your listings up. There's a whole method to, like you said, Brian, learning how to do listings, the keywords you use, how the Facebook Marketplace algorithm works, how to put video up there, super important, how to build your credibility, how to get great reviews. This stuff is a massive moneymaker. And I'll tell you how easy it is to sell. I had a call with one of our mastermind members like a month ago, and he's like, yeah, I bought a whole thing of this. I didn't realize it was a truckload. I was like, wow, it's a young guy. And he's like, yeah, my parents were a little freaked out. I had to get a freight forwarder. I had to get a U-Haul. I got a self-storage unit. And he's like, so by the time I had the call with him, he's like, yeah, I already sold, I don't know, maybe 70% of it. I got all my money back. And now he still had about 200 pieces of furniture to sell for his profit. And we kept going around. And he was like, yeah, I'm going to be a senior next year. And I'm like, wow, what are you going to do after you get out of college? And he goes, no, I'm in high school. This is a high school kid, right? And I was like, dude, you are killing it, right? And so, here's a young guy who just saw the process, invested a few thousand. I think he bought the whole truckload for $3,900, right? It's amazing. So this is just one example, and I'll be glad to keep going if you want me to.
Yeah, absolutely. And quick question, this is one of the questions you get all the time is, can you approach this as straight arbitrage where, let's say, I live, in a condo, an apartment or something. Do I even need to go get a storage unit? Can I just literally find my buyers, find where I'm going to buy it from, and then have them ship it to my buyer? So I'm literally just facilitating the deal. Is that a possibility?
It's a possibility. It's difficult. And
interesting.
Because you'll have to have a resale permit in whatever state you're having this product delivered to. If
Okay.
you're shipping it, if it's going direct to whoever's buying it, there's going to be labels on the pallets. They're going to, it's much easier to find the source. Maybe you trust if you have a very trusting relationship, that could not be an issue. But I would not ship things directly to my buyer. I would
Gotcha.
want to stage it. I would want to, and I would want the buyer to say, hey, look, I can't take 16 pallets, but I'll take 8 or I'll take 3. And then, so you're going to break it up and, you're going to have people that want to buy 10 pieces and want to buy,
Right.
a whole pallet. So you can definitely arbitrage. There's a lot of different ways to arbitrage. One of them is seasonal arbitrage. Like right now, there are lots of end of summer stuff coming up. I post about it on X all the time. Yesterday, I posted a deal on outdoor patio furniture. Well, I always tell people the best time to buy fake Christmas trees is in January because everybody's taking them back to Costco. Christmas is over. And it's ridiculous what people take back. And there's tons of them. One of the people that I work with, they bought so many Christmas trees, they're going to have a fake Christmas tree, artificial Christmas tree lot in their town this year and try something different. And because the prices are so low. So that's furniture, but there's every category you could think of. Let's jump over.
Yeah, let's do another one.
Let me see. Can you see that? This bedding,
Yep.
home decor. So this is Target. Target has auctions they sell every single day. This is $43,813 worth of bedding, 1,203 units. All these are customer returns. That stuff was new that we talked about the furniture. So you're going to have to get your hands dirty a little bit. This auction ended on the 22nd, August 22nd, and it sold for $2,426. So $2.02 per unit. All right. And when you come down, there's a manifest. It tells you everything that's here. You can sort by the retail price, high to low. There's foam mattresses that are retail $179, all kinds of bedding sets, $179, $145. These are things that you bought for $2. Let me say it again. You paid $2 for these. Okay. Now, I don't really want to sell home decor and bedding, but I know people that do, and they kill it because it's an boring categories are very profitable. Everybody wants to sell Louis Vuitton handbags and Rolex watches, but it's very hard to make a profit because it's so competitive. But if you could buy a bedding set for $2 that Target sells for, again, let's cut this retail price in half. Let's just, $43,000. Let's say that it's worth, $21,000. Okay. Because Target always does sales and everything else. And you say, all right, 21 grand. I think I could only sell at half of that price. So let's say it's 11,000. Well, you paid $2,400 for this. Would you invest $2,400 to make $9,000 or $8,000?
Sure would.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's just people ignore this stuff. But I tell you, once you start talking about it, people get excited because it's not difficult to do this. And you can sell it on eBay. You can sell it on Poshmark. You can do live selling on Whatnot, the Whatnot app. You can do live selling on Poshmark. eBay has more live selling stuff coming up as well. It's so basic to me, but I've done it for 25 years. We own a bunch of vacation rentals, and I buy everything for those vacation rentals at these auctions. And there's all kinds of ways to benefit from this stuff.
That's the great ways. You can win an auction, get 15 units, sell 14 of them, and keep one for, when your wife or husband's nagging you, we need this piece of furniture. Well, hey, I just got one, and we paid like $14 for it.
Exactly. So there is just a ton of opportunity. And right now, let's talk about appliances. Appliances, I mentioned earlier, what is your unfair advantage? And one of those unfair advantages could be I can store big items and I can move these things around, right? Well, the opportunity in scratch and dent appliances is pretty wild. And the scratch and dent category is unique because these are brand new products that somehow in the warehouse got a scratch, it got delivered to a customer and got dented or something on the truck. We've probably all dealt with this kind of stuff before. And you said, hey, I don't want that one. I just paid, $3,000 and I'm not taking this. Well, they just take it back and they auction it off to people like me and anybody who's interested. So Here is like looking at this one auction, 57 units, scratch and dent, refrigerators, washers, dryers, more, LG, Samsung, all these different brands. Costco price, which is much more solid number, right? Because they're already selling for a lower price. They're not doing half off sales. The Costco price was $74,099. That's what they were selling this load, these 57 units for. And as you see this, you see the timer going down here, 0 seconds. So this auction just ended, and it sold for $12,827, 17% of the Costco price. These are brand new appliances. They have some cosmetic flaws that either you sell them with or you buy replacement things and put new panels on or do whatever. But if you want to be in the appliance business, man, that's money. Like, okay, let's just use that same formula. Let's say you're not going to sell for $74,000, right? You're not Costco. Could you sell it for half of that? Could you sell it for $37,000? Is it worth investing $12,000 or almost $13,000 to sell it for $37,000? Maybe you can't sell for $37,000, but can you sell for $25,000? Is it worth doubling your money? These deals are available every single day. It's wild.
Wow. And this is something where, like you said, you can buy these units, buy this shipment, and put it on Facebook.
Yep.
Just if we're going real simple. If you've never done this before, Facebook Marketplace is stupid simple. You can use that. And if the retail price on that one refrigerator that comes in that shipment is, I don't know, $2,500 at Costco, you could easily sell that at $1,500, right?
Yeah,
or
you
somewhere
have
in that ballpark, maybe $1,000
Yeah, let's say
on Facebook Marketplace. But that's still, and I don't see what the per unit, it's probably, whatever that math is, but you're still making a really solid, really solid amount on that single unit, and then multiply that times 57.
That's right. And you have a good story. The story is, I'm a scratch and dent. You tell them, I buy scratch and dent from Costco. I handle this brand new product from them. Most of this brand new stuff will still have a manufacturer warranty that comes with it in case they have any problem. It's got a cosmetic. So people want a reason to get a deal. Otherwise, they're like, everybody's a skeptic and nobody trusts you. Let's just get that right out there. Until you build up credibility, you have great reviews, people have experience buying from you, nobody knows who you are, and they're like, what sort of scam is this? It's just the way we all think, right? Because your phone's ringing all day long, you're getting these scam texts. You come and just say, these come from Costco. They have scratches, some little dents. That's why they're 50% off the Costco price. Yeah, it's pretty wild. Another one of my favorite categories, patio furniture. Amazing category, right? Everybody likes this stuff in the summer. This is a great time of the year to buy it. You may have to store it. It depends. If you're depends what part of the country you're in. I'm in California. It's going to be mild through, October, November. If you're in Florida, your unfair advantage could be that you buy this type of product in the winter and you ship it to your warehouse or your garage in Florida and you're selling it because it's 70 degrees, all year round in the wintertime. And let's talk about this small deal here. This is from Costco. 3 pallets, patio furniture, and umbrellas. There's 5 total units, so it's 5 sets, right? Your, love seat, chair, table, that kind of thing. They have the photos up here, so you can see what it looks like when they were selling it. These are the manufacturer photos, some umbrellas, different things. Then you get to see the actual pallets. They have photos of the pallets. Okay, look at this stuff is on the pallet. Great. This is what it looks like. You get a little sense of it. The Costco price was $4,570. Right now, this auction is going to end in 8 minutes, and it has 0 bids. So it could. What? Yeah, somebody could buy this for $500. The first bid is $500. So if you were the bidder in the next 8 minutes, you could buy this for $500. Now, I wouldn't buy it because I'm in California. This is in Pennsylvania, so the shipping to me is $1,500, which is, $500 a pallet. It's a little steep. But if I was on the East Coast, if I was in Florida, this is where I'd be stocking up. And you look down here and you see, okay, what are these things? 4-piece seating set. You can look this stuff up. You can just do the research and say, how much is this online? Costco price was $2,000. Here's a Thomasville, another set, $1,000. massive 10-foot LED umbrella for $750 and other big things. So you see exactly what you're buying. Don't ever buy anything without a manifest. This is not like we're going to Vegas and rolling the dice. We're using math. We're saying, okay, this is Costco price $4,500. These are store returns, A, B grade, probably have a few problems that you have to solve. So maybe you can sell these, could you sell it for $3,500? You have to research your local market and see. Oftentimes, Costco's selling lower than the other retail price, right? Because they have less of a markup. So you're buying with math, figuring it out, and you may say, oh, I can't make money at this. The freight's too high, whatever it is. But then you just go on to the next deal if you can't make money on it, because the Costco site, and I'm just going to take us right there right now. The Costco site right now has over 100 and almost 200 auctions happening at once right now. And these go on every single day. Everything from toilet paper to computers to laptop, wagons, 3 pallets of coolers. This is $2,400 worth of coolers, Igloo coolers, selling in the next 4 minutes for $925. And over and over.
Shannon, what's the competition like for these auctions? Is it fierce? Is it stiff? Or is it like some of these, you got 6 minutes left and there isn't any bids on it?
Yeah, exactly.
Can you just troll the bids that are ending soon and just pop in and see if you win it in the last 5 minutes?
Yeah, there's actually a link, the filter that says no bids, and you can click, and here's 32 auctions. Some of them are ending in 6 minutes, 20 minutes, 21 minutes that have no bids on them. Everything from rugs, which are very popular on Facebook Marketplace right now. Here's $13,202 worth of 2 pallets worth of rugs. There's a $1,000 bid to get started. There's 0 bids. And it's closing in 57 minutes. If you're in the Texas, this is Dallas, Texas. If you were in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and you wanted to get on Facebook Marketplace, I would be researching rugs. I wouldn't go run and buy this without doing the research, but I would say, okay, how many 8x10s are in there? How many 6x9? Whatever size. I don't know anything about rugs. But you would want to go research on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, whoever else, whatever venue you might have. What do those sell for? And you could say, okay, you could buy $13,000 worth of them here for $1,000. Do you think you could make your $1,000 back? How could you not make your $1,000 back, right? You're going to have 98 units. So when you're first getting started, I wouldn't recommend you buy scratch and dent appliances if you don't have any experience with them, right? That's a complicated thing. But rugs are not very complicated. And these are A-B, they're customer returns. Some of them are going to be in like new condition, and some of them you're going to have to run the cleaner on it, right? But when you run that cleaner or the vacuum, you want to take time-lapse video, and you want to speed it up, and you want to show that in your listing. And that's what draws people in. They want to see you doing these things, that you're just like they are. And you're going to sell at half the Costco price, $7,000 worth of rugs, and you're going to pay $1,000. So you're going to make, after your other expenses, throw another $1,000 on there, you can make $5,000.
And do you find in these auctions that it gets inside like 3 minutes and then 12 people jump in and they're all waiting to see what that end bid is, and then it's really easy to miss out, or is that uncommon?
Sometimes, yeah. Usually towards the end, people get emotional, but not people that I teach. We buy with math, and then we sell with emotion. That's the way you think. If you know that you could pay, let's say, $1,500 for these 2 pallets of rugs, you would just go enter your $1,500 and you'd walk away, because it will auto bid for you. And if someone comes in, it'll just move you up. But you know your 1,500's, that's it. Your spreadsheet has told you, your research has told you that $1,500 is your max bid. You don't want to watch it because you get emotionally involved, which is a mistake. If you buy with emotion, the math never works, right? And you just go, another $50, another $50. But these sites all use what's called popcorn bidding, which means that if anybody bids like in the last minute, it's going to extend it a few minutes more. So no one's going to come in and snipe this deal at the end. So you don't need to watch, because if it hits your $1,500 number in this example And if it goes over that, you just go to the next auction. And you're going to lose most of your auctions. You're going to lose 70 to 80% of what you bid on if you do the math right. But the 20 to 30% you're going to win, that's your money. That's your profit, because you're focusing on the math part of it, not, oh, wow, they say it's worth 13 grand. Well, maybe it's not. Maybe it's only worth 3 grand. Maybe the numbers are off. You have to decide. It's your responsibility. You do the research before you bid, right?
Okay. So lead with the math. Do your research on this topic or this product and find out what you could conceivably sell one unit for in your area on whatever platforms you're choosing.
Got it.
And then just work backwards from there, right?
Exactly. You always work the deal backwards. Always. And, buy stuff that you're interested in. What are you curious about? Yeah, I'm not curious about rugs, but I'm certainly curious about Blackstone griddles. And I always like to buy that stuff. So if I'm looking at garden and patio category, I'm looking around going, is there any, oh, look at this. There's a pallet of outdoor cooking and more. Blackstone grills, 11 units. It's in Dallas, $2,730. It's got a bid. It's a little more popular, right? Because people like Blackstones and they're easy to sell. But, it's $2,700. Current bid is $1,100. Are you going to is this going to make you rich? No. Can you make money? Probably. Can you get a cool Blackstone grill out of it? Of course. And sell to all your buddies? Yes. And it's a great way to kind of flip the switch in your head of, oh, wow, I could sell this product. Oh, here's the thing with fire pits. Here's 4 pallets of lighting, plus outdoor cooking, like Christmas light season's coming up. Here's a bunch of Govee stuff, which people love, right? $8,000 worth of product. It's in Tracy, California. The bid is $700, and it's 2 hours left in the bid. So if you're interested in stuff, it makes it better. Because like, oh, I want a fire pit. Here's a deal with a big fire pit. So you're trying to have an early win here. Don't buy something complicated, right? Never buy consumer electronics. Just, I don't care. Don't touch it. There's no margin. It's too complicated. It's too easy to have products that has problems that you don't know about. Unless you're an expert, unless you're an iPhone guy that's flipping iPhones and you know everything about it, or a Samsung person that's flipping Galaxies, that's great. But for the average person, don't touch consumer electronics.
Interesting. Okay. So before we get to the next example, I got a question. I always buy my T-shirts and stuff for the most part at like Dick's Sporting Goods, Nike dry fit shirts.
Yeah.
Are there smaller classes of items that you could easily have shipped to your house? If you've got a basement, you can easily store it. And then if you want to start really small, is there opportunities at a really small level, like where you're selling, Nike shirts that retail for $35 and you're selling them for $19 on Facebook?
Yeah.
Is that a thing, or does it make sense to pick a category
definitely
that's it's got a little more price?
No, it's definitely. It just depends on what you want to sell. I don't really want to sell apparel one at a time. The only apparel I think is worth selling one at a time is branded stuff that's like high dollar, like NFL jerseys, MLB jerseys, NBA. That stuff's great. However, there are people that do really well selling this stuff one at a time over and over and over. Especially if it's new product and you take a few photos. This is a site called Universal Athletic. They sell Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, those brands, good brands. Okay, like I don't want to sell Kirkland signature Costco apparel. There's not enough money in it. It takes just as much effort to make $100 as it does to make $10. So focus on chasing $100 bills, but you could sell these in packs, in bundles. You don't have to sell one at a time. But here's some examples. 1 pallet of Nike dry fit short sleeve polos, 339 units, new condition. This was in Carroll, Indiana. These sold a few, I think last week. The retail price was $27,000. Remember, that's a lie. That sold for $5,665. So $16.67 per unit. Let's cut that retail price in half. So 27 grand. I hate doing math in public, but let's just say it's $13,000 or $500. Your cost is $5,600. Maybe you can't sell it at half at $13,500. You have to do the research, but can you sell them at 10 grand worth? You tell me. I'll tell you how to find the deal. I'll tell you how to build the system, but you have to research your market and what you can sell it for to make the decision if this is a good deal for you, right? And the math tells you if it's a good deal. It's not, oh, I love this stuff and the retail price is $27,000. I could pay $10,000. Well, that's just your emotion talking, not your research and your spreadsheet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So you can,
all right.
So there's every category you could imagine. While we're sticking on apparel,
what do we got next?
I want to show you. Let's see if this one comes up. Okay, there's a company called Alpha Broder. Nobody's heard of them, which is great. They are the largest seller of imprintable apparel, if not in the U.S., in the world, right? They're massive. They're $4 billion annual sale company.
Wow.
And they have tons of excess product. They buy up other companies, do all this stuff. So here is, we're looking at 4 different Alpha Broder auctions. So 2 pallets here, 2 pallets, 3 pallets, T-shirts, hoodies, crew shirts, and more. Adidas, lots of no-name brands because, you're buying stuff from like customink.com and Teespring and all that. They're not, most of the time they're not using that. But, here's 46,628. It's going to sell tomorrow. Right now it's sitting at $1,000, $1,024, 2.2% of the MSRP. We know the MSRP is a lie, 46,000. Let's say it's worth 23,000. So you're still only about 4%. It's going to sell for less than 10% of their price, even of that price that you cut in half. And the play here is you want to reach out and connect with shops that are doing this kind of work. All these the life of me, T-shirt shops,
like embroidery shops,
screen printers, right? Those are the people you want to sell this product to, not end users. And you want to take that same example I showed earlier. You want to print out the manifest. Then you want to, here, I'll show you here. I'm going to stop our screen for a minute, and then I will, okay, so we'll do this and edit. Okay, confirm. All right, so let's look at this. We're doing okay on time?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, great. All right, let me show you this. I have a couple other things I want to show you too. All right, so we clicked into one of these Alpha Broder deals. 2 pallets, T-shirts, headwear, sport shirts, and more. Tutlicks, I don't know that brand. Sportman's cap, Adidas. Again, we got some photos of hats, pallets, T-shirt, just a few samples. It's all overstock, so that's new. Here's the manifest. You want to download this manifest. It's got all the sizes, so you want to make sure that there's not just all small, right, or extra small. There's large, XL, 2XL, large, medium, great, sizes. This is the manifest you would take and talk to a screen printer. There's millions, tens of thousands of screen printers all over the country, local businesses, everybody. You would want to cozy up to one of them and use their knowledge and their expertise to tell you if it's worth it. Maybe it's not. I could totally be wrong. I don't know this market, but I know how to find the deal. So if it's like right now, the bid is at 14 cents per unit. It's not going to sell that cheap, but it's probably going to sell for around $1, maybe $1.50 per unit. Now, are these places paying, at the MSRP was $9.35 per unit. Were they paying that much? Maybe for some product, but probably not. Say they were paying, $7, $6, something like that. Well, if your cost was around $1, could you sell it to them for $3, for $4? And there is, how many pieces here? 4,488 units. So if you can make $2 a unit, that's like $9,000.
Wow.
Right.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay.
And people miss this. It's crazy. Yeah. So that's apparel, all kinds of other stuff. Let me show you other auctions that are really interesting that I love. There's tons of government auctions that you can buy product from. We're looking at a helicopter right now, but it's a salvage. Well, they sell complete. You can buy Blackhawks on this site too. Blackhawk helicopters.
You're kidding me.
No, I post about them all the time. But those sell for like $250,000, $300,000, which is probably a great deal. But I don't know how to sell a Black Hawk helicopter and all the all the stuff. But they all also often have what they call scrap helicopters, and those sell for like $5,000. Like this one's, it's got about a week left of it, and this is just at gsaauctions.com. You don't have to get anything, just go figure it out, look at it yourself. And this is a Sable, some kind of helicopter, but you have pictures, you can see the whole thing. So how could you make money with the helicopter like this? The last one they listed a couple weeks ago sold for like $5,400. Yes, there's going to be some shipping. You got to ship it up, put it on a trailer. But could you can you make an Airbnb out of it? Can you put it on your place and let kids crawl all over it? I love these sort of exercises that there's got to be a way I can make money out of a helicopter that sells for $5,000. Even if it doesn't fly. We're not flying this helicopter. Everybody in the comments when I posted, you couldn't get that thing flying again. I was like, I don't want to fly it, man. I want to charge somebody $5 to go and play on it for 20 minutes.
You're right. And I love the description. No engine, no transmission, no blades, no avionics, no electrical, no fuel, no nothing.
That's correct. And you can see the picture. It's basically the hull of this item. But there's more and more. If you want to buy vehicles, the government sells their vehicles all over the country. We're looking at a map of the United States, and there's those little, map dots all over it. But there are thousands and thousands of government vehicles sold every day that we don't need them anymore. There's all kinds of cutbacks happening now in all these government departments. Trucks, cars, tractors, everything you can imagine, they sell up here. And it's a huge opportunity, man. It's insane. And, I just clicked the browse vehicles, and there's, 2016 Chevy C1500, a Hyundai Elantra, here's the deal, over and over, and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of stuff. It's incredible, dude. It's incredible.
What do the vehicles go for on average?
I don't really know. I don't follow that opportunity. Okay. I've had people up there. There's a lot of nuance to. You got to learn. Some states make you have a dealer license. Here you can just sign up and buy these individually yourself. But there's a lot of data up here. You can see. You can sort by all kinds of filters, trucks, vans. I mean, here's a 2017 Chevy, 20,000 miles. I mean, over and over and over. There's just tons and tons of stuff that you can buy. There's real estate. We could spend about 4 or 5 hours talking about this stuff, man, because there is massive amounts of product, drones, more vehicles, on and on and on. Construction equipment,
airplanes,
airplanes, pressure water heaters, John Deere backhoe that's sitting at $2,700 right now in Nevada. Closes on the 28th, 2 days from now. On and on. You want to buy a Humvee? These places are loaded with that kind of product, So this stuff's readily available. You don't want to run out. And the first thing to do is not run out and buy something. If you want to figure out how to turn this into a business, whether you want to make a couple $1,000s a month as a side gig or scale it to a multi-million-dollar business, it starts with research. And so I started posting about this stuff about a year ago on X, and my account blew up and got tons of traction. It's been great. I love talking about it. I had no idea anybody would be interested in it, and it's been phenomenal. So I started a mastermind. I'm showing on the screen. It's just shannongene.com/mastermind. It's $5 a month. You just skip one cup of coffee every month. We've got 1,167 members in here. Everybody helping people, here, I want to grow. How do I find this? Is this a good deal? So I didn't have to answer the hundreds of questions that come in every single day. It's awesome. I love it up here. Everybody, just helping each other figure this stuff out. The pie is ever growing, right? People always ask me, isn't it going to be really competitive? No, because most people don't take action, right? So, but yeah, I mean, any other questions you have, I love talking about it. Anyway, I could help you succeed, I would.
So for somebody they're looking to just start this on the side, dip their toes in there, what are kind of the basic requirements? Maybe what's the order of operations? Yeah. I know it's work backwards, do the math, but pick a category first to start with.
The first thing you need to do is get a resale permit for your state. You can't even look at most
Okay.
of these auctions without registering as a business. You don't need to have a company. You don't need to have an LLC. You can just do it on your own, but you need a resale permit. I have a list of those permits. You go to shannongene.com/auction. You can download for every state. It'll give you the link of where to go register. Don't pay any money. There's all kinds of companies that want to charge you like $200, but most states don't charge anything. You just do it direct, and I'll give you that link. You get that. Sometimes you get it immediately. Other times it takes a couple weeks. And then you go get registered and start browsing. Just start seeing, what am I curious in? Do I want to sell health and beauty? Do I want to sell construction equipment? Do I want to sell Blackstones? Whatever. And you start researching and trying to build some spreadsheets of, how do I make money with this? Can I make money with this? What does Facebook Marketplace look like for Blackstone grills or pressure washers or outdoor furniture or home goods in my area? Because I can't tell you what that stuff sells for in Dallas, Fort Worth. I could tell it for, I could look in the Bay Area and tell you, but you have to be the one to make the decision. And once you find the delta, the difference between what you can buy it for and what you can pay for, what you can sell it for, that makes the decision. So that way, when you go to bid on one of these auctions, you already know in your head. It's like, well, the most I could pay is, $25 each for this widget. Okay. There's 100 widgets, or, there's 10 widgets. You can spend $250. That's it. You just put it in there and don't look at it again. You don't sit there and refresh and keep your hands off your mouse, because, if you're winning every auction, you're paying too much money. You need to be losing deals. That's the start. The other thing you can do without spending any money is just walk around your house, like all those baseballs in the background there, Brian. I'm sure they could fetch some good money on stuff. And
there's some solid autographs on there.
Yeah, so stuff that you already have. If you have an extra lawnmower, pressure washer, you want to sell your patio equipment, just put it on Facebook Marketplace and learn the process. Get your brain thinking. I call it the $1,000 brain switch. When you first make that first $1,000 on your own, something happens in your head, and you're just like, wow, I could really do this, right? And it's kind of like going off grid, where you're not relying on someone else to give you a paycheck or make money. You can figure it out. And so small steps, learn on your own. Don't go pay a bunch of money, and you'll figure it out. I use the same model to sell handbags. After I sold my last tech business, I didn't know anything about handbags. I studied it, researched, met people, asked tons of questions. It took me about 8 months. But over the next 3.5 years, I sold $3.7 million worth of handbags, about 7,000 units. I bought bags from Costco. I bought about $900,000 handbags from Costco. I bought companies in Japan, auction house. I learned a lot. I studied. But I didn't start at selling $2,000 or $3,000 handbags. I sold like junk, like $100 handbags, because I didn't know. It's like, well, this is how I'm going to learn. How do I take photos? What questions are they going to ask? So just start small and scale it as much as you want. But I guarantee you, if you can make $100, you can make $1,000. And if you can make $1,000, if you want, you can make $10,000 and more. It's definitely scalable. There's no mystery. There's no secrets. You just have to put in the work. And that's more difficult than anything else, taking action, putting the work in.
Well, I'll tell you, that $1,000 mindset shift you talked about. When we moved into this new house, the people who left here left some stuff here. Oh. And the guy left a handful of units of old Boston Acoustics speakers.
Oh, cool.
This house was built in the mid-90s, so it's like the whole place is wired for that old school surround sound. So I'm not going to use that. Yeah. But as I was walking out to the corner to throw it out on the trash, I'm looking at these 2 cherrywood speakers, and I'm like, these got to be worth something. Yeah. So I Googled the product number, and I looked at different, whether it's eBay or different, I learned that there's audiophiles out there, like these people that are just huge audio heads. And these were selling for $300 a pop.
That's awesome, dude.
And I was like, holy crap. Yeah. Like, I was about to put these on the trash. Yep. So I listed them at like 200 or at like 350 total for both of them.
Yep.
And the guy paid me $375.
Yeah. I love it.
It was found money.
That's right.
So you're right. You can start just something in your house.
Yep.
Or something you've been wanting to get rid of or need to get rid of. go see if it's worth a couple bucks.
Absolutely. And, lots of people, poo-poo some of these ideas and things like this. And, oh, you can't buy it. It's a scam. You're buying direct from Costco. You're buying direct from Target. There's no middleman. You're buying direct from Dick's Sporting Goods store and all this kind of stuff. This is not, I go sign up for something and I have to pay somebody. This is the real deal. And you just do your research, start small, and, take it as far as you want it. And the good reason to start small too, maybe you won't even like it, right? I don't want people coming to my garage. I don't like selling.
Maybe some people don't get that rush.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Facebook Marketplace seller, but we have people in the mastermind that love it, man. I have a guy, his name's Joe Earl, and he was an accountant. He was intrigued with some of my posts. He joined my $5 mastermind. He had never used a pressure washer in his life. He bought a small load with a few in there, did okay with it. Leaned into it, he's not mechanically inclined. That type of product, you need to be able to tweak and monkey on it a little bit, especially for returns. Over the last 10 months, he's sold 600 pressure washers. And this is a guy who had never used one before, and now he just bought his first truckload of product. And he's, him and his wife, like, hey, we set our goal for next year. We're going to do $100,000 in profit from these sales. It's life-changing, man. Life-changing.
Yeah.
It's cool. I love it.
That's incredible.
Yeah. I mean,
that's incredible.
It changed my life, and I'm thrilled to be able to share it with people because it really works. And I love seeing them really figure it out. And they're people are more surprised that it actually works, right? Because we're just, like I said earlier, we're skeptics, and you should be. But yeah, experiment, push yourself, challenge yourself. I tell people, don't watch Netflix, watch auctions. Put your laptop in your phone as you're sitting on the couch at night trying to relax after your kids go to bed or whatever it is, your downtime, and watch these auctions, and it'll pull you in. I guarantee it. Who wouldn't want a helicopter for $5,000? I mean, come on.
Right? Yeah. Why not? Right. I'll take a hollowed out helicopter for $5,000.
Kids would think you were a superhero, dude, if you brought that thing home.
That'd be Dad of the Year award material right there.
Putting that on your property. Yeah. So it's amazing. But I love talking about this stuff. Thanks for having me back on to talk about it, man.
Yeah, man, this is wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing all these golden nuggets. This is one of the more fun episodes I've had this year, just because it's an industry that's so ripe for anyone to go have fun in and go make money, right?
That's it.
It's stupid simple to the point where if you put in the work, it can become something that can, if you want to just have a little honeypot fun, right? You want to go pay for your next vacation.
Exactly right.
Take 6 months and go make 10 grand, right?
Yeah,
You're not reporting to anybody. You're not, I love this concept. Yeah. So Shannon, thank you so much for joining us. This was fantastic. Let's do one more plug for the mastermind and for finding you and following you on X and any other platform.
Yeah.
What are the best ways to do that?
To come learn about the mastermind. It's $5 a month. I just put it up there to cover the cost of running it and everything. Go to shannonjean.com, ShannonJean.com/mastermind. And then just come follow me on X. Just search for me, ShannonJean. You'll find me up there, and hit me up. Questions you may have or stuff. Like I said, I can't stop talking about this stuff. I love it, and I'm happy to help.
Awesome, man. It was such a great way to diversify some income. So I might even have to hop in there because I do love selling on Marketplace when I have things in my house that need to go. Yep. So
fill your garage up. You'll be highly motivated to sell.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. And with 4 kids and they get older and older, there's more and more things that little kids would have that I don't need anymore.
It's a great way to also for your kids to see you doing this kind of stuff. And my kids grew up in it, and man, they're just like, they're in their mid-20s now, but they're super independent. They figured out, I don't have to rely on someone else to always make money. I can do things on my own.
Resourceful.
Yeah, it makes you super resourceful, and I highly recommend it for families. We've really enjoyed it.
I love that. That can be such a great way to introduce your kids or your husband or wife to entrepreneurship in general. Knowing my wife, she has a typical W-2, and she would look at this and be like, "What are you doing? That's crazy." I'm like, "I'm making money.
Got it.
This is such a cool way to make money." Yeah. And eventually they start seeing it, and I love that make it a family venture.
Yeah, it's cool. Awesome.
Awesome. All right. Well, Shannon, thanks again, man. Best of luck the rest of this year, and I'm sure we'll have you back again in the future. This is a ton of fun.
Anytime, man. Thanks. Like I said, I can't stop talking about it.